Celebrity Buff here, and the world has lost a great, awesome, multi-millionaire icon. Stan Lee. Stan Lee, he brought great joy to this world, first starting off bringing joy to many kids by introducing them to the world of superheroes by working with Marvel Comics. Now there was DC Comics and many other comics, plus a lot of Japanese manga, but there was something about Marvel. Something, when you read it as a kid, you felt as though you related to it. A lot of the problems that the superheroes went through, be it with family, school, relationships, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, something when you read the stories that these characters who were supposed to be superheroes went through, it always seemed like it was relatable. Something about DC where the heroes seemed perfect and the only thing that they needed to make perfect was the world, and they would dress up in their superhero suits and they would go out and fight crime to make the world a perfect place because their life was perfect. Somehow the Marvel characters, their lives were not perfect, and as they were trying to make the world a perfect place, they were also trying to make their lives perfect, and it always was hard to balance it out. And as you read this, it seemed very relatable. And I think this is what made Marvel and Stan Lee stand out. I remember as a kid, I used to read a lot of Spider-Man comics. My favorite saga of Spider-Man is when Spider-Man was dealing with his clone, the Scarlet Spider.
Whoa! I don't think I even want to hear your story.
All of you must hear the Scarlet Spider story, for this is his reality we're in. And that monster you encountered was his twin. Behold!
My name is Ben Reilly. I'm related to this reality's Peter Parker. How? I'm his clone. Or maybe he's my clone. We're not sure.
He got cloned and he was trying to figure out whether he was the real clone or he was the real Peter Parker, whether the Scarlet Spider was the real Peter Parker or the real Spider-Man. I even went out and I bought the graphic novels. Here's book 2 of the Clone Saga, where Spider-Man is looking for his clone and they come across the Jackal, the one who actually cloned him, and then they come across Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker's long-lost love who died, but yet the Jackal clones Gwen Stacy, and now they are confused on what's going on. And as it gets deeper into it, Peter Parker gets confused and it just gets a mess. And this makes a person even question their real life. Am I adopted? Am I the real son? Am I the fake son? Is he my blood brother? What the hell is going on? I need to really stop reading this. But at the same time, I want to see how it ends. Which, I mean, you have to hand it to Stan Lee. He is the one responsible for creating many of the Marvel characters. He created Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange, X-Men, the Hulk, Black Panther, Thor, Iron Man. I mean, he created all of these heroes. When you were a kid, if you didn't like a hero, there was one hero that Stan Lee created that you did like. If you didn't like the Fantastic Four, you liked the X-Men. If you didn't like the X-Men, there was one X-Men that you did like most, Wolverine. If you didn't like the X-Men, you liked Spider-Man. If you didn't like Spider-Man, Daredevil. There was so many. It was like he knew, he understood many kids. That many kids had an icon, a superhero that they can relate to. I mean, he created all of these characters, which probably makes sense why he was in so many Marvel movies.
Excuse me, I'm looking for some guy named Stan Lee.
What? Spider-Man? Pam, hold my calls for a while. I think I've finally gone crazy.
Actually, I was just looking at this little pink number over here.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of nice. They look happy, don't they? You know, it reminds me of an issue of Spider-Man I did when Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy went lingerie shopping. Of course, the Green Goblin showed up, and he pumpkin bombed the hell out of the place. But aside from that, it's pretty much the same thing.
Oh my God. Holy shit! Aren't you?
Oh, Stanley. Hi. As far as I'm concerned, security ought to be Good morning, Dr. Krensler. Security ought to be beefed up a lot more in a place like this. Welcome back to the Baxter, Dr. Richards. I've got the usual for you. You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stanley.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice
no,
try.
really,
Nice
I'm
try.
Stanley.
Yeah. Look great, Hef.
The man drank one of those Guarana sodas. Guess it had a little more kick than he was looking for.
Wow.
Larry King.
Larry! Oh.
Did it work? I thought he'd be taller. Superheroes in New York? Give me a break.
These so...
Are your pulses pounding? Can you feel its eyes upon you? The dweller in the dark is watching.
Relax, Harry. It's just Stan.
Yeah, can I have my shoe back? I'm terribly sorry about your loss, dear. Oh, man. I am so fired.
Look at Mr. Smiles over here. Where's your wife, old man? What a Class A prevert.
I wear 'em front. I wear 'em back. I go inside out. Then I go front and back.
Dad!
No, see this? This was aged for 1,000 years. The barrels built from the wreck of Grunhill's fleet is not meant for mortal men.
Neither was Omaha Beach, Blondie. Stop trying to scare us. Come on.
All right.
Eggshell shear.
However, sadly, on November 12th, 2018, Stanley passed away, leaving behind great memories of himself, creating many great superheroes throughout the years as icons for many kids and adults. But in actuality, Stanley himself was seen as the superhero and was an icon for many, making a person's childhood a little bit easier. Serving in the United States Army during World War II and giving young kids and many adults that grew up with the comics amazing icons and memories to be cherished. Mr. Stanley, the world will always remember you and all the work you have done. You for sure made a difference in this world, helping people think themselves as a superhero, making kids pretend that they are Spider-Man, people going to Walmart and seeing kids dressing up as Spider-Man or Thor, having people escape this world, this reality, and their problems for just a moment, letting kids open up that comic book and escaping the stress of school, their parents, having teenagers take that hot date that they have always wanted to the movies so they can go see Thor, Iron Man. And we will miss your guest appearances on many Marvel movies. Many Marvel movies that will be made in the future that no longer have you in it will not be the same.
I think the thing I'm proudest of regarding creating the Spider-Man universe is the fact that people of all ages seem to love Spider-Man. And more than that, he's international. When I travel, any country I go to, people know Spider-Man, and they come over to me, and they're so warm and friendly, and all they want to do is talk about Spider-Man. Well, you can just imagine if you've spent your life working on something, and you find out that the fans love what you have done, and can't wait to meet you at a convention to tell you how pleased they are with everything you've done, and to thank you for what you've written and done for them creatively. It's an experience I can't even describe how wonderful that feels and how grateful that makes me feel.